Hi guys, Mark here. Well, welcome along today to a final thoughts review on the all-new 2022 Honda CB500X. Stay tuned and I'll give you my thoughts on it. Okay guys, so welcome aboard the all-new Honda CB500X. I'm going to give you my final thoughts. So I've had this bike for over a week now. It's going back to Honda UK in a few days, and I've managed to rack up about 400 miles in that time. I must admit, it's been an absolute joy to ride this bike. I've always loved CB500s. Had one myself several years ago, and they're just a great all-round bike. They do everything very well at a very good price as well. So while I've had the bike, I've done sort of quite a lot of riding on it. I've done sort of 2 hours, then a break, then another 2 hours in one day. That's 4 hours of riding. Absolutely no problem at all with comfort. The seat is exceptionally comfortable. It's well padded, it's plush, and what with the new suspension, it provides a really nice comfortable ride. So no problems at all with comfort. It's a lovely upright position. So I say I've done, it was about 120 miles in one day, no problem at all. So if you wanted to do some touring on this bike, absolutely no problem at all. You can get top boxes and the like. So touring on this would be no problem at all. I have worked out the fuel consumption on it accurately using the fill-up method, and in today's sort of light of the fuel costs, it's very important, and I've managed to work out that it's just over 80 to a gallon. That's UK gallons, doing you know, all sorts of sort of average speeds, sort of motorway, dual carriageway, town. So I think that's absolutely exceptional. The trip computer is actually showing 83 miles per gallon average. So all in all, that's a very impressive fuel consumption figure, I think you'll agree. And they're all like that, you know, the CBR, the F model and the Rebel, they're all exceptionally economical. I found all the ergonomics, the screen, the mirrors, all of that very easy. Good screen. That's on its highest position, manually adjustable with tools. No problem for me. I'm 5'7" tall. You may need something a bit taller if you're nearer the 6 foot mark, but all in all, finding it very good wind protection from this bike. Even, you know, the wind protection low down, I can't really feel much wind on my feet at the moment, so that's all good. General engine smoothness, again, very nice. You start to get a little bit of a tingle through the pegs at about 6,000 at higher speed, 6,000 revs, but it definitely seems to be less intrusive in these newer 2022 models than the previous year, so that's a good thing. I mean, at 50 mile an hour at the moment, you know, it's virtually vibration free. We'll take it on the dual carriageway in a bit just to show you its higher speed capability. So obviously new for this year, we've got the Showa separate fork function big piston forks, and they are a really good improvement. The front end feels utterly brilliant. There's no adjustment on the front, but it's set up really well from the factory for all sorts of riders, weights, and no problems at all with that, no complaints at all. The rear shock feels very compliant as well, so generally a very comfortable plush ride from this bike. Cost on this bike new, I think it's about £6,300, which is exceptional value. You know, when you think we live in a world of £15,000 plus bikes, it's very good value. Finding the riding position for me at 5'7" is perfect. It's pretty much totally upright, nice wide bars, lots and lots of leg room for me. And if you were a taller guy, say 6 foot, I think this would be perfect for you. I get quite a lot of questions saying, you know, which one would be best for me, the CBR or the F or this one. Definitely the X model, I would say, if you're a taller person, because it is physically bigger than the others. It's quite a tall bike. It's 830mm in the seat. I'll put a link at the end of this video to my full review on this, so take a look at that, and I give you all the descriptions, and you can see me on the bike as well. But I'm not flat-footed on this bike, got the balls of my feet down, so do bear that in mind if you're smaller than 5'7". It's quite a tall bike. The F model, the Rebel, and the CBR500 are much smaller physically. So no riding modes at all on this, but to be honest, you just don't need it, you don't want it. You know, this bike's about simplicity. The throttle response is very, very mellow and soft, no problems there at all. The brakes, obviously we've now got twin discs up front with Nissan calipers, very strong braking. I'll just show you the brakes, full front brakes and rear. So as you can see, very, very strong braking, improved from last year. So to show you some acceleration, second gear, winding it open. So it's pretty quick. It's a very, very playful, keen engine, parallel twin, 180-degree crank, about 47 horsepower. But one of the nice things about it is it's got plenty of low down torque. So if I just slow it down to say 40, top gear now, wide open, there's your 50 and there's your 60. So it's got plenty of pull from low down, so it's not lacking power. I've not had any sort of instances where I've sort of felt like it was not powerful enough. And in these sort of days of fuel costs and traffic and speed cameras, this bike really makes a lot of sense. It really does. I mean, it's one of the most reliable bikes on the planet. You're probably not going to get anything any more reliable than this. Good fuel consumption. It's a great all-rounder. On the bumpy roads that we've got in the UK, it's relatively long travel suspension, just soaks up all the bumps really nicely. I mean, this bit of road here across the forest in Dorset, south of England, is very bumpy at the moment, and it's just floating over it lovely. All the switch gear I found to be totally intuitive, easy to use. It's not a big load of buttons, it's all very simple really, just sort of standard Honda sort of stuff. Back brake's all good. But for me, it's just a generally nice all-round bike. You really can't go wrong with one of these. If you're after a good value bike that does a bit of everything well, touring, commuting, all that sort of stuff, you really can't go wrong with one of these. Clutch and gearbox, well, I found this clutch to be probably the lightest, easiest clutch you're ever going to get on a motorbike. It's an assist and slipper clutch, so it's got a super light operation, cable operated, and just a very easy clutch to use, very light. Don't get tired on a long journey, that sort of thing. So top box of the clutch, and the gearbox, incredibly light, very positive gear change, got a really nice action. So again, top box of the gearbox, no missed gears, no false neutrals, none of that. So again, great clutch and gearbox. Right, so just onto a dual carriageway now, just to show you how the 500X handles higher speed. So fifth gear, just winding it open, very keen, very easily up to 70. Top speed on this is around about 110, I would estimate. So wind protection for me at 5'7" with this screen in the highest position is fine. I can feel a little bit of wind hitting my shoulders, a bit of wind hitting my hands. I'd fit hand guards if this was my bike. But all in all, very, very good wind protection, nice and still here. Just feel it coming off the top there. Not untowardly noisy at all very good in that respect. Not much wind today, but the bike feels very, very stable and happy at this sort of speed. At 70 miles an hour we are running at 5,500 revs. So it's very, very relaxed at this speed. I just drop it down a gear at 6,000 RPM, just starting to get the slightest buzz through the foot pegs now, but it's not that bad, and you can easily live with it. Most of these parallel twins do buzz a bit at 6,000, so no problems there. This bike would very easily cruise at 70 upwards all day long with no problems at all. So plenty of top gear acceleration there when you open it up. But all in all, just feels very, very happy at this speed. The engine feels relatively relaxed. It's not screaming its head off or anything like that. All the mirrors are still nice and clear at this speed. So yeah, all in all guys, I would give the Honda CB500X 5 stars for higher speed cruising work. Definitely a bike that you could use for some touring. You know, it may not have the biggest engine, but it's still absolutely fine for a bit of touring, I would say. It's town manners if you're having to commute through cities to work. Absolutely impeccable town manners. I'm in 4th gear at the moment, 30 mile an hour, just under 3,000 RPM, and it's just purring along lovely. No issues at all with the fueling. There's no surging or hunting. It's got a very, very nicely fueled engine at low RPMs. Obviously nice high riding position, wide bars, you've got lots of commanding view, nice sort of leverage through the bars. It's around about 200 kilos wet, this bike, but it does manoeuvre very, very easily. It doesn't feel too heavy at all, it's just a nice weight. So 4th gear, winding it open. Sort of best to change gear at about 6,000 really. There's no point revving the life out of it. It's got lots of low and mid-range torque. So just for gentle cruising like this now, sort of 60 odd mile an hour, just turning over at a leisurely 4,800 revs, no vibrations at all. Very, very happy at this speed. Well, this comes with Continental tyres. They're like a dual purpose block tread pattern. I have taken this off-road. If you look at that in my first video, it handles off-road light trails and tracks very well indeed actually. It's got a nice position for that. You can stand up easily, no problems at all with tyre grip. If you had to do quite a long trip, I would say, on off-road, no problem at all. You know, it's not going to be doing full-on off-road, it's a bit too big for that, but for light tracks and trails, absolutely fine. So it's cornering capability, again, all very good. The Continental tyres feel good and grippy. Suspension's very, very plush. It's on the softer side, I would say. It's not set up really as a sort of a firm, sporty sort of ride. It's more built for comfort really. Right, I'll just give you some little roll on display again. So here we are, 4th gear, wide open. There's your 50, there's your 60. So yeah, it's got very, very keen performance. Usual 8,000 mile service intervals on this, same as most bikes in the Honda range, which is very, very good. So top gear now, just opening it up a hill. As you can see, pulls very, very keenly up hills. No shortage of power at all. To be honest, there's never really been a situation on this in the 400 miles that I've ridden it where I haven't felt like it had enough power really. It was absolutely fine. But you can hustle it round the bends, no problem at all. It's really good fun. Exhaust makes a good note, makes a sort of a pop and a bang on the overrun, which is quite nice. Right, we'll just do the final walk round, guys. So all the indicators, switch gear, high and low beams, all very easy to use. Very easy into neutral. So I'll just give you another sound check. Lovely. So LCD display on this, no TFT, but plenty bright enough. Haven't had any problems with that at all. Quite lots of information on that. So there we are, guys. Honda's new CB500X. Let's have a little walk round. So LED indicators, LED lights, these are on all the time for added visibility. I have ridden it at night, that's in my first video. Very good lights on these, very bright. So you've got a 19-inch front wheel there. Obviously means it goes over rough surfaces well. The new upgrades for this model is you've got the shower separate fork function, big piston forks with lots of travel, so it goes over bumps really well. And we've got the upgraded twin discs now, which are very strong. As always, 471cc parallel twin, 180-degree crank, lots of low and mid-range torque. It's a very fun engine. It does seem to be a bit smoother now for this model year than previous models. Maybe this bike's done 2,000 miles, maybe it's a bit more run-in, but it just seems to be a bit more smoother for me. So very plush, comfortable seat, 830mm. I'm sort of balls on my feet down, so I'm not flat-footed, so bear that in mind. It is quite a tall bike. Little tiny bit of space under the seat there, so you can get all the Honda top boxes and all of that. Hand guards, heated grips, all that sort of stuff. This one has got a centre stand fitted, doesn't come as standard. I think they're about £150, so that's something I would definitely have. But all the usual Honda, excellent build quality through and through. So this particular bike has been taken through the previous winter that we've just had here in the UK, and you know, you can see a little bit of salt here and there on the fixtures and fittings, but generally it is holding up very well. So you know, testament to Honda build quality again. So about 200 kilos this weighs. Moderate effort off the side stand, and not too bad to push around at all, with pretty decent turning circle. Good sized tank there, gets well over 200 miles range on that. So there you are, guys, all new 2022 Honda CB500X. I've thoroughly enjoyed it. Really can't find fault with it, really. They've sort of nailed it with it, really. Great comfortable suspension, very comfortable riding position, incredible economy. You could probably get even more than I've got. I say I averaged about 80 to a gallon out of it in the time I've had it. So if you're looking for an A2 bike, something big, something very capable, definitely get a test ride on one of these. It's one of the best you can get, I would say. So there we go, guys. Post your comments down below, please give me a like. Don't forget to share and subscribe to my channel, and I'll catch you again in a few days for another review. Ride safe, guys. All the best. Bye for now.